Hello and welcome to episode 43 of Unemployed to Unstoppable, and in a bizarre twist of fate, we have actually secured European football. And welcome back. So as you can see, despite finishing outside the European spaces last year, we've actually secured a place in the UEFA Europa Conference League. And even more bizarrely, Chelsea, who finished one place below us, have somehow qualified for the UEFA Champions League. And even more bizarre is it looks like we've got 6 teams in the Champions League. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But yeah, we're in Europe. So we've been able to attract a slightly better calibre of players. So I'll take you through the new arrivals because we've gone all the way through the transfer window. I'm not going to do the pre-squad planner, post-squad planner review this time. We're just going to go straight to the transfers in and have a look at what we've got and why. So without further ado, I'll take you through the transfer history. It's probably best to go back one first because the first signing we made was just towards the tail end of last season. Walter Medina from Nacional, 19-year-old Uruguayan striker. He's already worth 70 to 98 million. We picked him up for about 4 million, I think. So 4.1 million. Really good player. He's played a couple games for us in pre-season friendlies. He's played in the Olympics where he had 7 appearances and got 6 goals. He's already described as a wonder kid. So he is another wonder kid behind Codriano. And he'll play kind of second fiddle / rotation with Codriano in that forward position. So with us pushing Vin Weiser out to the right-hand side, we've brought in Walter Medina as an understudy to Codriano. So we've got 2 wonder kids fighting over one position up front, which is brilliant for competition because they're both going to want to score as many goals as they can. But it also gives us the squad depth now that we're in the Europa Conference League as well. So I think you'll all agree that is a wonderful sign-in and a great start to the transfer window. We've also kind of tried to switch away from the dynamics of buying instant ability and going for longer-term potential. There are other caveats to that, which we'll get to in a little while. But first sign-in, pretty good, and I think he'll go quite a long way for us. Moving into this season's transfers then. First one we picked up from Juventus on a free transfer is Alessio Mancuso. Again, he's a defender centre. He came up as a free transfer. I took a punt on him without really seeing too much of what his stats are, but as you can see, he's not really got that much development potential. So we've punted him out on loan. We'll probably look to cash in on his 9.4 to 10.5 million valuation, turn him around quickly and punt him out for a profit. So not a good signing in terms of first team, but good to sign in terms of generating some cash. The next one we're quite excited about, which we spent 10 million on from Red Bull Leipzig, is Christopher Braun. He is a high potential goalkeeper and is going to be the long-term replacement for Anson. Now he's currently on a 2-star current ability with up to 4.5-star. His stats aren't quite as good as Anson at the minute, but we're going to try and just give him as much game time as possible to try and knock him up to that 3-star current ability and then introduce him to the first time full time as the first choice goalkeeper. So again, stat spread really good. He's got lots of potential for developing. His physicals are really good. His aerial reach is good. I mean, he's really tall, 193 centimetres, and only at 20 he's got a long way to go in the game. So we needed a goalkeeper. I couldn't find one at a reasonable price for a current ability, so we've gone for that long-term potential development again, which I think fits with what we're trying to do. Breaking that trend though, Serdar Satki, free transfer, centre-half, Turkish international, came in as a better current ability than all our centre-halves. He's a ball-playing centre defender, can play as a stopper, can play as a wide-back centre, which we're probably not going to do. But he'll come in and add as much needed quality at centre half and a little bit of squad depth in that position. He's really quick, really tall. Again, he's tackling it and he's got it where it counts. His tackling marking position is pretty good. He's strong. That kind of pace to cover at the back is really good. So another really good signing on a free transfer, and he's already worth 43 to 47 million. So again, even if it doesn't work out, we make some money. Next one from Junior for 925,000 is Juan Carlos Preciado, a Colombian 18-year-old, 5-star potential, only 2-star current ability, but we've loaned him out straight away. So he's gone to Millonarios for the season. We're probably going to loan him out for 1 or 2 seasons and see where he is when he hits maybe 2021. If he meets his potential, he might be integrated into the squad at a later date. If not, we'll probably turn around and move him on because we've got 2 wonder kids at centre forward already. But again, really good spread of stats, good technique, and a lot of development opportunity. So he could grow into be an absolutely world-class player. But we'll see. We've got him on the books, and we'll see how he develops. And then I say finally, we got Rodrigo Salas from Colo Colo for 3.4 million. We fought with Man United to get him in. Again, bought him on his potential. He's 3-star current ability, so he can play as an understudy to Bramall in the defensive midfield role. Kind of use him as a playmaker when he plays in there. His technique and vision is really good, and it might make us a bit more creative. But again, for that rotational phase as we play the Europa Conference League, it's a really good player to have in there, because I think long term we're going to have to sit with a defensive midfielder rather than an attacking midfielder, just because we were quite weak at the back and we were letting a lot of goals in. So we'll continue with that. So that's him. And then finally, who hasn't joined yet, but we've got Christian Calderon from Estudiantes. We're going to pay 11 million for him. He's a centre half / left back, but he comes in with massive current ability. Again, you can already look, his mental and his physical stats are fantastic. He's only 22 and he's got an international cap, but he's 4-star current ability, close to his full potential, but he's already better than even Saki, who came in. So again, he'll be a first choice. Really need him for rotational, and he's a young player, so we're going to have him around for a long time. So that's the signings. How that makes the squad panel look, I think it's pretty good. So we've got Hansen. Well, we've got Caleb Hansen and Braun as the goalkeepers. We do have another one in the youngsters, but we'll leave him in the under-21 squad. Left back, we've got Timothy Mercier. I don't think he's not been wonder kidded, but he's certainly he got signed of the season last season. He's just a fantastic player. And we've got Kravtsov as the understudy as well. So 2 young fullbacks. I didn't think we needed anyone else in there. Centre half, we've got Saki and Aliou, I think, are the first choices. Got Olander and Schaffner, really good depth in there. Kesmith wants away, and we're looking actively to sell him, which means we might need to bring in another kind of a backup centre half somewhere for what could be a long season. Right back, we've got Shahar. We've currently only got Diaz as the backup, and then we're into the youth after that. Again, if we can get Diaz off the books and sold, probably look to bring somebody in that position. Defensive midfielder, we've got Heiko Bramall, to a lesser extent Salas, and we do have Diouf and Topologlu who can play in there, but I think Salas and Bramall are the 2 we really want to integrate in that position. Right hand midfield, we've got Vancharov, who has actually now fulfilled his wonder kid status, although it's not there anymore. He was down as a wonder kid, but he's a Bulgarian international. He's starting to get a lot of game time, and we're going to use him as first choice in that centre midfield attacking role. Left midfielder, we're going to stick with Andy Diouf, and then back up for them 2. We've got Hansen Aaron, we've got Devine, we've got Topologlu and Salas, so good depth in the middle of the park. Right hand side, we've got Vinweza. He's going to be our starter out on the right hand side as an inside forward. We've got Somolani and Meyer in there as well. Again, we might look to sell one of them. Will Alves is really unhappy, so we'll probably look to move him on. On the left, we've got Kevin Zeffi, Hansen Aaron and Kravtsov can all play out there, so again, reasonably strong in that position. And then up front, we've got Vinweza, Codriano and Medina, who are 2 wonder kids, and Vinweza, who's actually rated better. So I think overall the squad depth is pretty good, and that's the squad sat there in its whole, in its entirety. It's more than I would normally have. I would normally punt a couple of them down into the 21s and manage at a level of 25 players, but I think all of them are pretty good, and in the friendlies that we've been playing, the bench has even looked strong. So 2-0 games against Chernomor and Yepspor. Again, we got a draw with Fiorentina. Did get beat by Levante in a friendly, but I think we were resting quite a few players in that game. And then we beat Borussia Dortmund 2-1. So opening game of the season we've got against Sheffield United, so we'll have that on camera shortly once we get to that. And then we'll move through the season, and we'll come back throughout the season for either European games, cup games, or just a progress update in the league. The other thing to tell you about really in terms of the club vision is we have gone to the board and we've asked for recruitment analyst wages, coaching budget, youth recruitment, youth facilities and training facilities. Now some of these have come through which have been accepted, which is brilliant. We're now just waiting on the youth facilities is happening. That's in progress, completed in 3 months. Hopefully we can get the training facilities over the line as well, because one of the things they want us to do is develop players using the youth system now. And to do that, we're going to need to bring in the best youth we can and then have the facilities to develop them in the right way. So that's a good update of where we are. In terms of the budget that's left, we've still got 26.27 million and 126,000 wage budget, so we can bring more players in. I'm trying to hold off because when we go through the scouting, and I'm currently looking to recruit a couple more scouts because we've got room for 3 more, and we've got a global worldwide network. I want to be able to find some more high potential players, so I'm going to save some of the budget to snap up them when they arise. The only other thing that we really need to be wary of now, though, is the homegrown status trained in nation. Is we've let a couple of them go, a couple more want to go. You need to have 8 in the squad. So other than bringing in some youth from the under 21s to make up their numbers, but that'll mean we'll have to let a couple of players go. So that's something we got to look to in the future. So developing our own youth players in and around that 25-man squad is something we have to do long term for the future. So that all being said, we'll get through to the games. We'll play the opening game of the season. I was hoping we'd get our other new player in before we started. It hasn't happened, but I think we're on for a good season this year. So stay tuned. We'll have the opener against Sheffield United, and we'll see if we're on for a great season. And Christian Calderon has just crept in before the game comes around, so we'll get him registered. We'll give him a squad number, and we'll see if we can maybe get him his debut as well. 4-star player with still can improve, but this is fantastic. Another great player, improves the squad. Young, so we've got him for a long period of time, and I'm guessing his value's gone up. Yeah, so he's already 37 to 41 million. So again, another positive move. I'll carry on and get to the game. I'm looking at more scouting reports coming in, but this is shaping up to be an absolute belter of a season for the mighty Millwall. And welcome back for the opening game of the season. We've got a few debuts out today, so I'm going to start Braun in goals to give him his Premier League debut. Caleb Anson on the bench. We've got Mercier at left back. We've got Calderon coming in for his debut at centre half alongside Aliou. Shaharin at right back. Got midfield 3 of Bramall, Vancharov and Diouf. Hansen Aaron's going to play inside forward on the left. Vinways is going to be inside forward on the right. And we're going to give a debut to Walter Medina up front, as Codrianu's got a little bit of a niggle at the minute in terms of an injury. So he'll sit on the bench for this one. But what I would say about the bench is this looks fantastic compared to when we first came up. I mean, you've got Anson, you've got Olander and Satke are both Premier League defenders. Kravtsov, a high potential left back. You've got 2 Premier League midfielders in Topologlu and Devine. And we've got Somalani, who can play out on the right, and you've got Zephi and Codrianu sat on the bench to come on. So really strong bench, and even the players who've missed out on the first team squad for today are all pretty good players. So I think of all the seasons we've had, and I know it should get better every season, I think this is by far and away the most promising. I still think Vancharov has a little bit of development to go before he cements himself as being the first choice midfielder. But I think with him being a 5-star potential wonder kid, of which we've got 3 wonder kids now, the future's starting to look a little bit brighter. But what we want is a positive start. As quite often when we get to the start of the season, we have all this promise, we make all these transfers and we get off to a slow start. But Vinwazer will deliver a free kick. In it goes, Aliou with a chance. It comes out to Calderon, and Christian Calderon has scored on his debut, 18 minutes into his debut. The new centre-half, picking up the scraps in the box. Millwall are 1-0 up away at Sheffield United. Aliou squares it across. Calderon with a header. Keeper had already gone for the first ball. And a positive start and a debut goal for our new star player. So far, so good. I mean, Vinways are not playing the best at the minute. We have made him club captain. Stats-wise, he was the best player as Sheffield United get an equaliser from a free kick. Vancharov's missed header allowed him in there. So Wana puts it into the back post. Vancharov never really competed. And Braun's let a goal in on his debut. So for every positive, there's a slight bit of negative. But I think as Braun gets more game time, he'll start to save some of those. Diouf now playing the ball with Calderon at the back. Into Aliou as we creep forward with Antrov. He'll want to make amends for the mistake he made. We're still quite deep here, looking for a breakthrough. Try it down the right hand side this time to Shahar. Vinweza coming deep for the ball. He's missed it and we've given the ball away. Sheffield United looking to break up the other end. Here they go. Oof, it was a good strike from the edge of the box. I think Braun had it covered, but looking a bit dicey from what was a positive start. Sheffield United have really grown into the game and they're starting to get their share of the chances now, but Vinweza's picked it up down the right hand side, driving forward, cuts into the box and tipped away. Looked like he was going to go all the way with that one, and that's the threat he has from the right hand side. I think Vinweza and Codriano were both in the quite high in the top goal scorer odds for the season. We didn't have anyone in the player of the season odds, but it's good to have someone in there. Shahar moving up, Bancharov into Diouf. Shahar down the right hand side, plays over for Vinweza. Can he pick out a man? It goes to Medina, and Medina has picked out his debut goal. So we've got 2 debut goals for the episode now. I mean, I don't think the goalkeeper's going to be able to get a debut goal, but we have got some players on the bench. Vinweza cuts it across into Medina, and the other wonder kid gets himself off the mark for the season. Chance to deliver a free kick down. Vinweza chucks it into Aliou, and he's got himself in on the action as well to put us 3-1 up just before the stroke of half time. And what an important goal that could be. Definitely going to affect the team talk. Powerful header from Aliou at the back stick there. And again, Vinweza being on the pitch with it, he's got a good delivery on him. We've given him club captain because I'm hoping he'll stay long term. Man City were sniffing about him in the summer. We had to extend his contract and keep him, but really positive start. A lot of shots in the first half. 11 shots, 6 on target, XG of 1.99. And yeah, I'm starting to have a quick look at the bench. I didn't want to have to do it through injury. Vinweza's picked up an injury. We'll probably bring on Somalani because he's more natural in that position. Don't want to risk Codriano at this stage. We will play for set pieces just to try and see the game out. Hopefully that's not too much of an issue for Vinweza. With 2 assists on the opening game of the season and being our first choice out on that right hand side, if he's picked up some kind of long term injury, that could be potentially devastating to our push for more European football and hopefully a trophy this season. That'd be nice. I certainly think we've got the squad for it. It's just we've got to get a bit of luck in the draws on our way. As 8 minutes of injury time, which suggests to me that it might have been a bad injury, but we'll see. Diouf throws in a corner. Aliou gets a head on it, but it goes over the bar. We'll get Topologlu on in the middle of the park just for a little bit of run out before the time is up. And we have won the opening game of the season after what has been quite a strong transfer window, I personally feel. Quite a good performance from the back. Nobody gave us a chance. I think the fans and the board thought we would be out for a draw today. Yeah, we played really well. Both new signings making their debut, got their goals. And we sit top of the league, having been the only team who's played against Sheffield United. But we'll take it. And let me know what you think. How you think the transfer window did. Do you think we're making the right approach by investing in youth rather than investing in first team players? I know we bought 1 or 2 that do slip straight into the first team, but I think the long term model now has to be get some youth in the team that we can develop long term while this current crop holds the burden. And then establish some facilities that will enable us to grow and develop our own players to reintegrate the under 21 element into the squad. But so far so good. It's shaping up to be a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss out. It's been a fair few seasons to get Millwall to the Premier League. We're on a European journey, so keep watching and see if we can finally get a meaningful trophy over the line. Thanks for watching.